Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Martial Universe Season 9 Part 7 based on novel. So let's start. Several formidable attacks descended from the sky once again. Subsequently, they smashed ruthlessly onto the three-headed demon snake's large body. A low and deep muffled sound appeared, as the surrounding lake water exploded, causing a 100-feet large wave to form. Boom! However, that three-headed demon snake remained extremely ferocious even though it was surrounded on all sides by numerous attacking practitioners. Berserk energy wheezed out, as a dozen water snakes took shape around its body, before sweeping outwards. Immediately, a dozen experts were struck, causing them to vomit blood as they withdrew in a miserable fashion. This three-headed demon snake was indeed very powerful. If it was a one-on-one fight, even Lindong would have to experience a bitter battle in order to emerge victorious. However, the current situation was such that those experts present were all extremely experienced individuals. Moreover, they were all relatively strong. Hence, the might of the three-headed demon snake began to show signs of weakening as it continued to be entangled in this battle. This sign was undoubtedly like a tonic that strengthened everyone. Immediately, the storm-like attacks became increasingly frenzied. Roar! The three-headed demon snake became increasingly irritated when faced with this situation. However, it was after all one with great intelligence. Its scarlet-red snake eyes flickered for a moment, before its enormous body abruptly began to sink. In the end, it once again sunk into the lake of an unknown depth. From the looks of it, the snake seemed to have given up. Who? Many experts hovered in the air. They were a little out of breath as they stared at the three-headed demon snake, which had been forced back into the lake, while joy flashed across their eyes. It seemed that the strength from their large numbers was indeed quite great. Otherwise, it would basically be impossible for them to force the three-headed demon snake to withdraw today. It has simply retreated in this matter. Lindong looked at the surface of the lake, which had gradually regained its calm. His eyes did not contain any joy. Instead, he frowned slightly. The three-headed demon snake clearly possessed a great battle power. This retreat was clearly not because it was afraid of them, but instead more akin to temporarily avoiding their attacks. What a cunning fellow! It is planning to wait for the people here to fight each other for the life mysterious spirit fruit, before coming out and reaping the benefits from the infighting. Ji Yu Yang commented in a low voice. This three-headed demon snake clearly understood that it would not last for long in such a situation. However, these people were clearly not united. Under the temptation of the life mysterious spirit fruit, the so-called cooperation between them would quickly crumble. At that time, these people would begin to kill each other without its intervention. It is likely that many people here are aware of this logic, however, no one will be able to prevent it. Lindong nodded slightly. His eyes swept over the sky. After which, he felt the atmosphere become a little strange. Light flickered in the eyes of some people. Those who were originally in close proximity also began to cautiously keep their distance. Rustle, rustle. While the atmosphere was strange, the life mysterious spirit fruit on the small island was gently blown by the wind, causing a faint rustling sound. Those 6 life mysterious spirit fruits on it flickered with a tempting luster. Swoosh! The strange atmosphere did not last for long as greed gathered within the eyes of many people. A moment later, a dozen figures suddenly turned around and directly rushed towards the small island. Swoosh! However, they had barely moved when a sharp, densely cold force erupted over their heads. Immediately, a couple of them were blasted away as they spit out blood before landing in the lake. The strange atmosphere also completely collapsed at this moment. The earlier cooperating relationship had also instantly shattered. Scarlet surged in everyone's eyes as they rushed simultaneously forward. Move! Lindong's eyes hardened upon seeing this as he cried out in a deep voice. His body had already swept out the moment his cry sounded, while Ji Yu Yang and the others behind him quickly followed. Their eyes were cautiously staring at the chaotic surroundings. Bang bang bang. At this moment, the sky had already fallen into complete chaos. the various factions had become a little crazed under the temptation of the life mysterious spirit fruit. Ferocious attacks would immediately be launched against anyone who was from a different faction. The so-called cooperation had become incomparably fragile and laughable under the temptation from the life mysterious spirit fruit. Lindong was extremely quick. He dodged many formidable attacks along the way as he made a beeline for the small island. However, a couple of sinister wind forces came rushing over from his right when he was a short distance away from the small island. Bang! Lindong's eyes turned slightly cold. He turned around and threw a punch which directly shattered the incoming wind. After which, he turned his head and saw four figures staring at him with unfriendly eyes. "It's you fellows who just won't disappear again." Lindong gazed at the four individuals, as the coldness in his eyes intensified. This was because these four people were from the Black Dragon pirates, who had lured two demonic beasts towards them previously. "Heh, this fellow is a rather tough one." The four people from the Black Dragon pirates laughed in a strange manner. Their expressions had changed a little after seeing Lindong blast apart their coordinated attack with a single punch. Lindong's eyes were indifferent as he stared at the four of them. A ferocious glint suddenly flashed across them in the next instant. His body moved and turned into an afterimage as it bolted forward. "Careful!" The faces of these four Black Dragon pirates changed upon seeing this. Clearly, they did not expect that Lindong would be this decisive. However, they were clearly people with rich battle experience. Majestic Yuan power surged, and they threw a punch forward. Their Yuan power gathered together and struck at Lindong with ferocious momentum. Bang! Resplendent green light erupted from Lindong's body. He quickly swung his leg out. Green light gathered over it, causing it to appear like a green dragon's tail. Bam! The wind from Lindong's leg blasted apart even the air itself. Immediately, the kick collided head-on against the combined attacks of the four Black Dragon pirates. "You courting death?" Savage smiles rose on the faces of the four Black Dragon pirates after they saw that Lindong actually dared to take all four of them on alone. However, these smiles had yet to spread, when they suddenly froze. This was because they could sense a terrifying force suddenly sweeping out from the point of contact. Bang! The combined attacks of the four instantly collapsed. Ugh! A frightening force seeped into the bodies of the four individuals without any reservation. Immediately, their expressions paled, as they spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. After which, their bodies flew backwards in a miserable fashion in front of many shocked eyes, before finally shooting into the lake below like cannonballs. What a powerful person! Although the sky was currently unusually chaotic, the eyes of some people involuntarily showed fear after seeing Lindong's formidable attack. They might have already seen Lindong fight at the foot of the mountain, but these four Black Dragon pirates were all at the peak 9 Yuan Nirvana stage. Each and every one of them was not weaker than Lu Jian. If they were to join hands, they would even be able to fight against a half-step into profound life stage expert. Despite this, they were still directly sent flying by a single kick from Lindong. This forced many people to begin treating this mere 9 Yuan Nirvana stage Lindong in an extremely serious manner. This brat. Wei Song also saw this scene from nearby. His expression sunk slightly, but soon after, he released a cold laughter. His body turned, and he hurried to the small island at lightning speed. Swoosh! However, Wei Song had just rushed out when an extremely sharp blade aura suddenly fell from the sky, forcing him to hastily retreat. After which, his expression was gloomy as he lifted his head only to find the one-armed Mo Zhon watching him with indifferent eyes. "Since Brother Mo has the time, I shall also play with you." Wei Song laughed faintly. He clenched his hand, and a long spear appeared within it. His body moved and charged at Mo Zhon. Unceasing attacks were unleashed, holding Mo Zhon back in the process. Rumble. The chaos in the sky continued. However, anyone who entered the area within 100 feet radius of the small island would immediately meet attacks from all directions. In this way, no one dared to easily step into that area. Such a sight was rather bizarre. Since no one can reach the life mysterious spirit fruits, I will have no choice but to enjoy them by myself. A soft laughter was suddenly emitted from the air amidst this stalemate. After which, the lake around the small island was blasted apart. A somewhat transparent figure shot out at lightning speed and dashed towards the life mysterious spirit tree. Mental energy spiritual body? Divine symbol master? Everyone in the air had a change in expression upon seeing this scene. Their eyes were hurriedly thrown towards the Wei clan group. The black-robed person's hand was currently extended, as wave after wave of mighty mental energy swiftly erupted from him. Mental energy spiritual body. Normally speaking, one could only form it after reaching the divine symbol master level. From a certain point of view, it was an existence that was a little similar to the Yuan spirit. However, when compared to the Yuan spirit, this mental energy spiritual body appeared a little ethereal and strange. Swish! The mental energy spiritual body was extremely quick. It approached the life mysterious spirit tree in a flash. However, the corners of Lindong's mouth lifted to form a cold smile when the mental energy spiritual body was about to proceed. Swoosh! The surface of the lake around the small island exploded, as a flash of golden light shot out at lightning speed. Finally, a sharp golden ring darted forward, and ruthlessly shot towards the mental energy spiritual body. A golden light wheel ruthlessly struck that mental energy spiritual body, as a low and deep sound appeared. Subsequently, that spiritual body emitted a miserable cry as its originally corporeal body started to show signs of fading. Swoosh! While the mental energy spiritual body was fading, everyone finally saw that the golden light was actually a palm-sized illusory figure. Yuan spirit? Everyone present had rather good eyesight. Hence, they managed to identify that illusory golden light figure at a glance, and their pupils quickly shrunk. Only a few initial profound life stage experts were able to create a Yuan spirit of such quality. Could there still be an expert of such a level hidden in this place? That Yuan spirit looks like that fellow from the GU clan, someone suddenly exclaimed while many gazes were glued to the golden light Yuan spirit. The hearts of many people suddenly shook after these words entered their ears, as their gazes hurriedly turned towards Lindong. Sure enough, they could see that his appearance was exactly the same as that Yuan spirit illusory figure. This person merely possessed the strength of the 9 Yuan Nirvana stage. Yet he is actually able to condense his Yuan spirit to such a level. Several people looked at each other. There was a shock that could not be hidden in their eyes. It was likely that this scene was a great shock to them. Gu Yang and the other members of the Gu clan were also staring at Lindong in astonishment. It was likely that they were similarly shocked. This bastard. Wei Song's eyes were a little gloomy. Originally, they planned to let the black-clothed person use his mental energy to obtain the life mysterious spirit fruit. Never would they have imagined that this plan would be completely ruined by Lindong. The black-clothed person by the side also lifted his head at this moment, revealing his pale face. His eyes were unusually eerie as he stared at Lindong, while murderous desire continuously surged from them. I do not believe that the Yuan spirit formed by this 9 Yuan Nirvana stage of yours can be stronger than my mental energy spiritual body. The black-clothed person spoke in a sinister voice. Soon after, he clenched his fist and swung it downwards. The mental energy spiritual body in the distance once again solidified its illusory body. After which, majestic mental energy ripples spread apart, directly agglomerating into a couple of mental energy long spears, which shot explosively towards the golden light figure that was rushing towards it from behind. However, a cold smile surfaced on the small face of that Yuan spirit in the face of this mental energy attack. He waved his small hand, and the dragon Yuan ring returned. The blade of the ring contained a cold light as it shot out downwards in an instant, directly tearing apart the mental energy long spears. Swoosh! After breaking the enemy's attack, the dragon Yuan ring quickly returned to under the Yuan spirit's feet. In a flash, they appeared in front of the mental energy spiritual body. A small hand was quickly thrown out, and imprinted itself onto the mental energy spiritual body's chest. You will be crippled if you play with mental energy in front of me. The Yuan spirit lifted its head, and a strange smile surfaced on the small face. Immediately, many tiny black threads quietly seeped out from its small hand, and penetrated the mental energy spiritual body. Sizzle sizzle. That mental energy spiritual body suddenly trembled after the black threads invaded it. Its originally powerful mental energy ripple actually swiftly disappeared in a strange manner at this moment. In less than half a minute, the mental energy spiritual body completely disappeared in front of everyone's eyes. Damn it! The expression of the black-clothed person abruptly changed when the mental energy spiritual body vanished. Immediately, a sharp cry sounded. His body moved and charged straight towards the small island in a ghost-like fashion. Swoosh! The moment he rushed forward, that Mo Zhon, and Dao from the Sea Cloud sect, and other powerful experts also completely unleashed their Yuan power. All of them shot towards the small island. Lindong's Yuan spirit glanced at the crowd that was rushing over after finishing off the mental energy spiritual body. It moved and appeared beside the life mysterious spirit tree. With a gentle wave of its hand, golden light swept out from it and wrapped around a life mysterious spirit fruit, before plucking it off. Pluck! A life mysterious spirit fruit landed in the hands of Lindong's Yuan spirit. The surging life chi from where it landed in its hand caused the golden light all over Lindong's Yuan spirit to immediately become much denser. Such a marvelous thing. Joy that was difficult to hide was revealed on the small face of Lindong's Yuan spirit. Immediately, its hand extended like lightning, and plucked another 2 life mysterious spirit fruits with shocking speed. Bang! However, just when Lindong had obtained 3 life mysterious spirit fruits and was planning to continue, an extremely dark and ruthless energy ripple suddenly unfurled. Lindong could only regretfully glance at the 3 remaining life mysterious spirit fruits on the tree after sensing the approaching attack. He quickly stepped on the golden Yuan ring and swiftly withdrew. Leave the life mysterious spirit fruits behind. That black-clothed person descended from the sky. His eyes were dark and chilly as he looked at Lindong's Yuan spirit, which had taken away 3 life mysterious spirit fruits. He could not help but be greatly angered by this sight. His hand extended, and his mental energy turned into a large net that enveloped Lindong's Yuan spirit. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. The dragon Yuan ring under Lindong's Yuan spirit once again separated from the Yuan spirit. Golden light flashed, and an extremely sharp aura directly tore that large mental energy net apart. Finally, it turned into a flash of golden light and flew away. Bastard! That black-clothed person's eyes became increasingly dark and stern as he watched Lindong's Yuan spirit escape. However, he did not dare to chase Lindong when he saw Mo Zhon and the others landing on the small island. With a clench of his fist, mental energy swept out and grabbed at a life mysterious spirit fruit. Kai? However, an extremely sharp blade aura came slashing over just as his mental energy rushed out. Finally, it slashed the mental energy apart. You? The expression of the black-clothed person turned completely gloomy after being hindered. With a wave of his hand, majestic mental energy turned into an enormous hand that mercilessly swatted at Mo Zhon in the distance. The black-clothed person clearly no longer held back at this moment. His majestic mental energy caused the expressions of many to change. After all, a divine symbol master could match up to an initial profound life stage expert. Blade edge skill. Mo Zhon's eyes were a little grave after seeing this. His single arm held the black long blade tightly. After which, he inhaled deeply, as the long blade came hacking downwards with great force. A black blade cut through the sky, and collided head-on with the giant mental energy hand. Bam! A low and deep sound reverberated through the air. Wild and violent Yuan power mixed with mental energy crazily poured downwards, cutting the small island below until many gullies covered it. Mo Zhon's figure was sent flying backwards. However, a smile surfaced on his indifferent face as he flew backwards. Subsequently, he made a grabbing motion with his hand under the ugly expression of the black-robed person. A suction force surged, and a life mysterious spirit fruit landed in his hand. Han Dao from the Sea Cloud sect also had a wildly joyous expression as he obtained another life mysterious spirit fruit at the same time as Mo Zhon. I'll first obtain the last life mysterious spirit fruit before worrying about other matters. The black-clothed person was so angered by this scene that his face turned green. However, he did not dare to delay any longer. His body hurried forward, as his hand swiftly grabbed at the last life mysterious spirit fruit. Bang! However, just as he was about to touch that final life mysterious spirit fruit, the lake water suddenly exploded, and a foul-smelling figure shot out. Its hand flew forth, and a ferocious wind sent that life mysterious spirit fruit flying, while it rode the wave and caught the fruit. You bastards have actually taken all of this king's life mysterious spirit fruit. That human figure who obtained the last life mysterious spirit fruit stood in the air. Both of its eyes contained an overflowing ferocity and fury. From its voice, one could tell that it was surprisingly the three-headed demon snake, which had hid in the water earlier. Swoosh! At this moment, Lindong's Yuan spirit had also rushed into his body, while the three life mysterious spirit fruits had also landed in his hands under the joyous eyes of Ji Yu Yang and the rest. 3 life mysterious spirit fruits. This is quite a harvest. Lindong held the life mysterious spirit fruit and softly chuckled. Soon after, he lifted his head. Nearby, Wei Song and the rest were staring at him with extremely dark and vicious eyes. Brother Shu, there is no need to be anxious. He might be able to obtain the life mysterious spirit fruits, but he won't have the fortune to enjoy them. Wei Song's hand slowly clenched. He stared at Lindong, while a savage smile formed on his face. Hand over the life mysterious spirit fruits. Otherwise, die. The atmosphere above the lake suddenly became extremely tense. Gaze after gaze were red with jealousy as they stared at the young man standing in midair nearby. The latter had 3 life mysterious spirit fruits in his hand. This caused their breathing to turn a little ragged. There were a total of 6 life mysterious spirit fruits on this small island. Currently, half of them had landed in Lindong's hands. How could this not cause others to become jealous? Some of the surrounding experts were staring at Lindong with searing hot gazes. Although greed was flashing within their pupils, they did not immediately reveal their enmity like Wei Song had done. After all, the strength that Lindong had displayed previously, and the Ji Yu clan beside him, caused them to be a little wary. Wei Song, these natural treasures should belong to those who have the ability to obtain them. Previously, all of you failed to snatch any of them. Who else can you blame but yourselves? Ji Yu Yang and the rest of the Ji Yu clan members swiftly clustered around Lindong, as the former cried out coldly. It is indeed the case whereby those with the ability should obtain them. Once we finish off this brat, we will be the powerful ones with such capability. Wei Song's mouth parted to form a smile. His smile contained a dense murderous desire. Relying on your mouth alone will not help you to obtain the life mysterious spirit fruit. Lindong's expression was indifferent as he gazed at Wei Song's sinister and cold expression. With a smile, he kept the life mysterious spirit fruits into his Qianquan bag. Evidently, he did not plan to surrender them. So you decided to reject my kindness. Since that is the case, I can only respond with force. Do not blame my Wei clan for being ruthless. Wei Song's expression was dark. His voice had just sounded, when those experts from the Wei clan hurriedly gathered over. Their faces were unfriendly as they stared at Lindong's group. The eyes of the surrounding factions flickered upon witnessing this scene. However, they did not intervene. The Ji Yu and Wei clan were both quite powerful. Since these two groups wanted to engage in an all-out battle, it would naturally benefit the rest of them. At that time, both groups would suffer serious injuries and deaths, allowing everyone else to take advantage. In any case, this chaotic demon sea was endlessly large. Hence, they were not afraid of offending these two big clans. Ha ha, Brother Mo, Brother Han, I wonder if you are interested in the life mysterious spirit fruits? If you are, we can join forces. After which, we will evenly distribute the 3 life mysterious spirit fruits. This Wei Song was clearly extremely cunning. Both his eyes slightly narrowed, before he suddenly turned towards Mo Shon and Han Dao, as he smilingly asked. The Mo Shon duo were slightly startled after hearing these words. Immediately, their gazes swept towards Lindong. This bastard. Ji Yu Yang's group had a slight change in their expressions upon seeing this situation. Currently, everyone was eyeing them covetously. They already had to use their full power to deal with the Wei clan. If Mojang and the Sea Cloud sect were to join the fight, their Gu clan would definitely fall into a disadvantageous situation. However, Lindong's face was still calm in contrast to the worried expressions on the faces of Gu Yang and the rest. His eyes were undisturbed as he glanced at Mojang and Han Dao, who were in deep thought. There was no fear in his eyes. Their present situation might be bad, but this was no desperate situation from Lindong's point of view. Even if Mojang and the rest were to join forces with Wei Song to deal with him, he still had the confidence that he would make them suffer. Back then, he had killed Yuan Kang and the 500 over Yuan Gate elite disciples by himself. Now, he was similarly able to kill all of these people present. However, he would definitely have to pay a price for such a deed. Hence, Lindong naturally did not wish for things to develop to such an extent if possible. The atmosphere became a little tense as Mojang and Han Dao's eyes flickered while they stood in midair. It was likely that everyone was aware that if these two were to cooperate with Wei Song, it would definitely become completely one-sided. Mojang and Han Dao were frowning a little as their eyes paused on Lindong amidst this tense atmosphere. The 3 life mysterious spirit fruits in the latter's hands were quite alluring. However, both of them were cautious individuals. Lindong was shrouded in mystery. He was merely at the 9 Yuan Nirvana stage, yet even they could sense a dangerous aura from him. Their eyes continuously flickered. They had quite a good haul already, and it seemed a little too risky if they were to fight a mysterious and unknown individual due to greed. The two of them made up their minds after pondering for a while, as their original tense bodies also gradually relaxed. They glanced at Lindong and spoke in an indifferent voice. "We appreciate your kind intentions. However, we are already happy with 1 life mysterious spirit fruit, and do not wish for a second one." Gu Yang's group quickly sighed in relief after the two of them spoke. Immediately, their gazes turned to look at the completely calm Lindong beside them in a strange manner. The reason these two individuals, who possessed some reputation amongst the younger generation of the Heaven Wind Sea region, had chosen to give up, was clearly because they were wary of Lindong. What a pity! Wei Song softly chuckled, as a shady expression flashed across his eyes. After which, he tilted his head towards the black-robed person beside him and laughed. "Brother Shu, shall we attack?" The black-clothed person nodded slowly, before promptly lifting his head. That cold pale-looking face had a dense murderous intent surging on it. He stared at Lindong and spoke in a dark and cold manner. "I have already warned you that you should not get involved in some matters. However, it is pointless for you to regret it now. Be a good boy and let me refine you into a human puppet." Those dark words had just sounded out, when the black-clothed person's robe suddenly fluttered despite the absence of any wind. Extremely majestic mental energy swept out from within his body without reservation. Immediately, gales blew across the sky, as hurricanes formed around the black-clothed person. A rather terrifying sight. Lindong watched this scene and sighed gently. Soon after, he spoke to Gu Yang's group. "It should not be a problem to block Wei Song and the rest, right?" "Yes." Gu Yang nodded with a slightly cold expression. Immediately, she glanced at the black-clothed person with a shocking aura, as she bit her lips and asked, "Can you handle him?" "A mere divine symbol master," Lindong grinned. Soon after, he slowly stepped forward. Being in possession of the devouring ancestral symbol, it was clearly easier for him to deal with a divine symbol master in comparison to an initial profound life stage expert. Moreover, he was even able to kill Yuan Kang back then. Although this black-clothed person was powerful, what could he possibly do when faced with Lindong? Gu Yang's group watched Lindong's back. The latter's tone was clearly extremely arrogant, but at this moment, no one dared to mock that he did not know his limits. TSK, you are truly a bold fellow. Brat, surrender the 3 life mysterious spirit fruits in your possession, and this king will help you to finish off these people. What do you say?" An ear-piercing laughter suddenly sounded in this extremely tense atmosphere from the battle that was about to erupt. Everyone was also stunned because of this laughter. They turned their heads, and saw a strong man with a naked upper torso that was emitting a ferocious aura. There was no hair on his head, and its bald surface flickered with a dazzling luster. An extremely sharp pressure was emitted as he parted his mouth and laughed, causing one to feel a chill within one's heart. It is that the three-headed demon snake. Everyone's heart trembled upon seeing this person. They had forgotten about this ferocious and ruthless character. Lindong stared at the three-headed demon snake, which had taken on human form, as he frowned slightly. He could see a cunning and ruthless expression that could not be hidden in the latter's eyes. The words spoken by such a person naturally could not be trusted. There is no need. I can handle it myself. Lindong looked at the three-headed demon snake and replied in an indifferent manner. He. The three-headed demon snake was clearly not surprised by Lindong's rejection. Soon after, however, he revealed his sinisterly white teeth towards Lindong and laughed. In that case, this king can only personally kill you to retrieve the life-mysterious spirit fruits. The three-headed demon snake licked his lips with his scarlet tongue. With a clench of his hand, a trident appeared in a flash. His eyes were cruel as they stared at Lindong. He would not let off a single one of these people, who had snatched his life-mysterious spirit fruits away. Currently, the one who had taken the most number of fruits was Lindong. Naturally, Lindong was also his first target. Wei Song's group was stunned because of the sudden intervention of the three-headed demon snake. Immediately, the corners of their mouths revealed gloating expressions. This situation was even more of a headache for Lindong than the intervention of the Mozhon duo. Lindong, what should we do? The expressions of Ji Yu Yang's group had turned completely ugly. They had clearly witnessed the three-headed demon snake's profound life-stage strength earlier. If it was to intervene, they would likely have difficulty escaping this calamity. Continue with the plan. However, Lindong merely smiled and replied in the face of the ugly expressions of Ji Yu Yang's group. Continue. Ji Yu Yang was stunned. Quickly after, she seemed to understand what Lindong was saying. Her pupils contracted, while her tone contained an unconcealable shock and horror. You are going to fight the two of them? GUYA and the rest of the GU clan members were also staring at Lindong in shock. Clearly, the impact of this was far too great for them. Big brother Lindong, GUYA spoke in a worried voice. Lindong smiled towards GUYA. He immediately waved his hand and ceased saying anything more. After which, he walked forward in front of many gloating eyes, which appeared to be watching a good show. Subsequently, he smiled towards the three-headed demon snake. There is no reason for me to give away the things that I have already obtained. I will accompany you if you wish to fight. However, I'm afraid that you will not be able to afford the price. The three-headed demon snake stared at Lindong with scarlet eyes. An unusually cruel grin was revealed a moment later. This video will end here.